Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this story comes from Hackney in East London. And this is actually an exclusive story, and I've been able to confirm the details surrounding this case. East London artist Billy Billions has been charged and remanded in relation to the recovery of a loaded Glock handgun by armed police in a traffic stop on the 25th of May. I've been able to confirm Billy's involvement via his management, and he wanted to pass a message on via his solicitor and management, and he wanted to reassure the fans that he was not caught with any firearm, and they have remanded him and charged him just on the basis of being present in one of the vehicles. The official police statement states, the officers made a stop on 2 vehicles travelling in what they call a convoy along Victoria Park Road in E9 on the 25th of May. The occupants were 3 men and a woman, and they were detained while the search was carried out. Officers searched the car and seized the loaded Glock handgun from the first vehicle. The driver of the first vehicle was arrested for possession of a firearm, and the 2 men and a woman in the second vehicle were also arrested for possession of a firearm. All 4 suspects were taken to an East London custody suite, where they remained at the time awaiting interview. The firearm is now in possession of specialist officers for examination, and Detective Inspector Glenn Butler from the Specialist Crime Command North said, "I'd like to reassure the residents in London that Glock handguns are very rare on the streets of London, and they are committed to recovering illegal firearms and protecting the community from the use of them in the capital." So from this initial report about his arrest, he has now been charged and have remanded him in prison as well, along with several other people. And of course, some people would not understand how you could be arrested if you wasn't even in the car that this was actually seized in. But this will be based on the grounds of conspiracy. The Crown prosecution will be trying to prove his involvement in a conspiracy to either possess a firearm or to commit an offence with it. And due to the fact there was ammunition as well, this would definitely make it a difficult case. And in relation to who Billy Billions is, he's from East London, as I said, and he's a solo artist, but recently joined up with other artists from the same borough to create the group 9/8. And together they have been releasing a lot of music and making a big impact in the scene, with other members like V9 with his anime Japanese inspired music videos, which definitely separate him from a lot of other artists, and also the lyrical capability and wordplay of artists like KO, who is actually known as the Drill Shakespeare, and has definitely put them on a different path. Billy Billions has come with a different vibe as well. It's not just rap and it's not just trap. He's got a lot of variety, and he's a very talented singer as well. The come up has been real for Billy Billions, and he's not new to the scene. He's been working in the industry for over 5 years, releasing songs originally on Pac-Man TV and consistently following them up as well. In his collaborations with 9/8, they've released several songs, Homerton to Holly, Taco and also Family, and they're featured on Mixtape Madness and also done 4.3 million streams on Plugged In with Fumes the Engineer. And with all the recent controversy surrounding music in the UK lately, and it was good to see an artist with more dimensions than just one-sided views. And Billy made a good impression to other fans around the UK when he featured on the Groundwork cypher alongside Digger D, Millions and also Tallers. And this also projected them to a new level of fame. Most recently, he did an interview with Members Only Network, a conversation with a risk taker. They've got some brilliant interviews on that channel. I highly recommend you subscribe to the channel as well. And in this interview, he drops a lot of gems as well, and he shows how articulate and how focused he is on achieving his goals in life. So understandably, it's devastating news for fans that he's been dragged into this situation, just as his latest song, Tizzy, has hit 1 million views on GRM Daily. And sadly, these are the risks that are associated to the road as well. Just being around somebody or being in the wrong place at the wrong time can have a massive effect on your plans for the future, which is even more reason as to why you should always, if you're taking music seriously, you need to be very careful. And in this interview with Members Only Network, he mentions his friend that passed away called Rayshawn, and he states in the interview that he was killed by police.
How did you get your name, bro?
Oh, Billy Billions. It started with Billy, and I got that from my boy Rash. Rest in peace.
Okay, rest in peace.
Rash, he got killed by the police.
Yeah, I heard about that.
A few years ago, but yeah, man. Rash threw that name at me.
In further research for this video, I found out that Rayshawn Charles' case was actually ruled as accidental death. He was killed by a police officer. The inquest said accidentally when he went into a shop and the police officer thought he had drugs on him. The officer held him down and restrained him, and a passerby also put his hands in Rayshawn's mouth in an attempt to stop him swallowing what they believed to be drugs, but later turned out to be paracetamol. Rayshawn Charles' family said that the inquest was a farce and some of the evidence was just downright lies. And it was devastating to see that a young man lost his life on the streets. And new data in a Vice News article revealed that nearly half of the people convicted of Class A drug supply in London are black people, but they only make up 10% of the population. This would suggest that white people do not sell drugs or take them, and everybody knows that this is not true. According to a census in 2011, only 10% of people living in London were black and 60% were white. However, 3 times as many black people under 21 had drug convictions in comparison to their white counterparts. And in some areas of the country as well, police forces have even been decriminalising people in possession of small amounts of drugs. And to think that this young man lost his life for what even turned out to not even be drugs. And nobody even faced any consequences for their actions, even though the judge said that the police officer and the passerby were in the wrong for what they did. And this was Billy's right-hand man. They'd known each other since childhood, and this would have been a devastating situation for Billy to have gone through and would definitely have affected him in a big way. So for him to be able to find the strength and overcome what happened in his life in relation to losing his friend, that is definitely got to be an inspirational story in the future. So of course at Scarcity we do not condone any crimes whatsoever and will only support positive actions. So for the time being we're going to have to leave it at that so as to not affect the case in any way, shape or form. There is another artist that is currently in prison at the moment, but we won't be talking about his case because I haven't had chance to discuss it with his manager, and I wouldn't want to say something that we're not aware of that may affect that in the future. So we'll definitely keep you updated on any of them stories, and please don't forget to follow us online and check out our website as well at Scarcity Studios. So I really appreciate you joining me. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.
I don't do this for fame, the prosecution had me framed, but I don't ever complain, television in my brain.